region's business, improving our economy, creating jobs, and strengthening communities. Innovation, collaboration, transformation, and the people making it happen. Join us as we take a closer look at our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, from fintech to big data, we're talking some exciting startups. We'll hear the fast-growing success story of a Pittsburgh company that's found its niche, providing information about places and schools nationwide. But first, an innovative startup you're sure to get a charge out of. But first, the growing buzz about a fintech startup based in our region. Fittingly, it's called Honeycomb. The company is out to fill a niche in commercial lending by crowdsourcing investment for small businesses that need loans that are often too small to be profitable for traditional lenders. Ken Martin is the co-founder of Honeycomb, and Chad Townsend is founder of Millie's Homemade Ice Cream, which is in the process of crowdsourcing financing for a new ice cream truck. I love that one. Welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Yeah, so Ken, tell me a little bit about Honeycomb. What is it you guys have set out to do?
Yeah, sure. So Honeycomb is a fintech platform where local businesses can get fair expansion loans that are funded directly by their community or customers. So we like to think of ourselves as building communities one small business at a time. So we're headquartered right here in Pittsburgh. If you're someone that loves to buy local, now you can invest local with Honeycomb Credit.
Well, I've heard about things like Kickstarter and those types of crowdsourcing platforms for funding. How are you different than that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, we like to think of ourselves as filling the gap for community banking. So now community banks used to serve Main Street America very well. They're disappearing at a rate of 1 per day in the United States. Wow. So whereas, if you were a small business owner, you would go into your local community banking branch and apply for a loan. They would do this very well because they not only checked your financial information, but they knew you. There was a qualitative gut check, and that was so important to small business lending. But now that that's disappeared, there's a void opening up in the market. So Main Street America just can't get the growth capital it used to. So now Kiva and Kickstarter are wonderful options, and they're really good if you're just starting your business. Now, several years might need to go by before you're ready for a big national banking relationship. So that middle ground, that's where Honeycomb Credit plays.
Okay, so all these small sort of Main Street businesses have their own valley of death. We've talked about it in the tech universe, but it just applies there as well. So Chad, tell me about Millie's a little bit. First, what's the company about?
Yeah, so we make ice cream. We're a locally produced ice cream maker, been around for about 4 or 5 years. We pasteurize, we make all our own mix, very focused on local ingredients, local producers, and kind of that experience that is encapsulated with that.
Well, they got a location on Highland Avenue out in sort of the Shady Side area, another one downtown, right? Right in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. But now you want a truck?
Soon to be mobile. Yeah,
okay.
We're going to be in every...
Join the food truck craze.
Absolutely. We're going to be in every neighborhood you want us to be in, and without all the investment of building a shop in every neighborhood.
But you still got to invest. You still got to get money to buy a truck.
Absolutely, which is where Honeycomb comes in.
Yeah, so why this? Why this instead of other kinds of ways to raise money?
As Ken kind of said, we used Kickstarter at the beginning to buy a few of our assets to get the business started. And it was a great experience. It worked really well. But we're much more busy. And at this point, I think people think, why do I want to just give them money when I see lines out the door? And so...
Some way they want a little return on all this goodwill they're sending your way,
not just T-shirts and scoops of ice cream anymore. They want some cold, hard cash. So we created this relationship with Honeycomb because it allows us this really kind of perfect middle ground of not having to go the traditional bank route, which is very difficult. It's very time consuming. There's a whole bunch of prepayment penalties that are, that kind of create a barrier to entry into going to a large bank.
And so how does this work? So you have just like a crowdsourcing idea, people all different kinds of amounts can invest in these businesses?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the way to think about the underwriting process, there's a quantitative element, and so what the Honeycomb team will do is we'll get an application from someone like Chad, and we'll look at that business and see, is it a good credit risk? Is there an expansion project that is worth funding a loan for? Once we've done our checks and the underwriting process is done, then we invite that company to post their campaign onto the Honeycomb platform. So then their customers, their community members can look at that and decide and vote with their wallets whether or not they believe in that campaign enough to put in money for a piece of a loan. Now, you can do this for as little as $100.
And what kinds of loans are you doing? I mean, what size of an investment are you making right now?
Yeah, so right now we look to do kind of 3 to 5 year loans, fully amortizing, and the interest rates are generally between 8 to 12%, something in that range. And that's the sweet spot between a traditional bank loan, which might be kind of in that 6 to 8 range, and then the much higher APR type options like a credit card or other type of fintech lenders.
And there are plenty of small businesses that are out there running up the balance on their credit card to try to expand. So this gives them a real alternative. So like 8 to 12% kind of range wasn't it sounds like a good deal for what you're trying to do?
Yeah, it's absolutely a good deal. It's absolutely a great deal for us. And as you said, you know, there's the option of, okay, yeah, we can go and we can put all this stuff on a credit card and we can kind of piecemeal it together, right? We can buy something here and we can take a little bit of cash from the business and buy something here and put all these things together, whereas Honeycomb allows us to kind of use this money in a way without tying up so much of our free cash, but also still being a reasonable rate. Yep.
So are you hoping it's going to be like local folks in our region investing in a business like this? Is that kind of the model?
It's a great question too. You know, we think about community as not just geography, right? So the example I like to give is I grew up in Dallas, Texas. Now, I haven't lived there. I moved away for college and worked overseas many years, but I still have connections to that community. It matters to me what happens there. So for us, when we talk about building communities one small business at a time, it's not just the local customers. It can be people that share an affinity or share some connection to that community.
Everybody loves ice cream.
Absolutely.
Right. But I would take it you're hoping you can scale this model. It's not just going to be a little Pittsburgh community bank.
100%. You know, we're very proud to be in Pittsburgh. I think it's the exact right place for this company. But yeah, we think very much about where the next locations are and how do we grow this nationwide.
Very cool. So when are we going to see the ice cream truck?
Ice cream truck's on the road any day now.
Any day now.
Yeah,
all right. Just in time for spring. That's what we like to hear. And if people want to find out more about Honeycomb?
Yeah, they should check out our website, honeycombcredit.com.
Honeycombcredit.com. Okay, Ken Martin, co-founder of Honeycomb, Chad Townsend from Millie's Ice Cream. Congratulations to you both. Best of luck with the ventures.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. When we return, the college prowler who found a niche online, providing data to people searching for a place to be. Stay with us.